I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Raising the debt ceilings does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy.
I know words. I have the best words. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Peddling Fiction Podcast. I'm your host, the voice and soul of so-called fiction, Johnny Profita. Back with me. One day before starvation hits the U.S. on a massive scale is Justin Hillbilly Boy Campbell. You doing over there?
I've been starving for the better part of a year, and I'm still here, so I don't want to hear all these miserable fucks crying about it. They can make it. You can do this. You got it.
Dude, really, I have been getting, I don't even know why I keep opening up fucking Twitter and just social media stuff, because it just drives me absolutely crazy, and I am just inundated with a level of retardation that, you know, you only see it a few times, because a lot of like topics that hit the government sphere, some people can't really comment on because they're just retards on this level. But when it comes to something like SNAP and it's food, like everybody has an opinion, and most of them are just fucking terrible. And so everybody feels this need to chime in, and you just get, yeah, it's, dude, I can't even believe, like, this issue is highlighting so many things that are wrong with American society. I almost don't want to talk about it again today, but we might have to go on a couple rants here and there. Hang on, I got explain what that is while I gotta go get my coffee real quick.
Governor Tim Walz posted that every $1 invested in SNAP generates $1.80 in economic activity. It's not about the money. Trump just wants America to go hungry. And then below this is a graphic of the unlimited energy source, where you have a truck with a big boom arm on it that has a magnet on the front, and the truck has a big metal plate attached to the front. This is the $1 invested in SNAP generates $1.50 to $1.80 in economic activity concept. It's an imaginary thing that doesn't actually work, and there's no actual evidence of it. I've looked everywhere to try to find where they like track this. There's no tracking of this. There's no like cost benefit analysis of the economics of SNAP participation. This is all just like bullshit that's made up to drive a narrative that doesn't exist. So and yes, like the level of retardation around this, like the people who, and especially, I am to a large extent sympathetic. I do know people that legitimately are in, you know, hard times and need this stuff. We talked about, you know, I was on when, you know, just right after I got divorced and changed jobs and everything, you know, I had the free meals at school for the kids. Like, I didn't receive any EBT or anything like that. I was just on the free meal program for the kids at school. And, you know, there are people that are legitimately in trouble that, you know, are going through a hard time and need this. But like, if you go and pull up the EBT of TikTok Twitter account and just scroll through those videos, these are not people that are struggling and have fallen on hard times. These are fucking leeches. And I'm sorry, it's kind of like the whole immigrant or illegal immigrant thing. It's like, yeah, a lot of them are just here because they want to have a job, and, you know, they're trying to escape to a better way of life, except that there are also violent criminals and like drug traffickers and people that are completely destroying entire like communities that fuck it up for all the rest. So like if you're going to be reliant on the government, you are pooling yourself in with a group of people that may very well get you in trouble. And you know, we talk about it with your kids when they're little. It's like, you know, be cognizant of the people that you're surrounding yourself with and that you're associating with, because those are the people who are going to be what happens with that group of people, you are going to be responsible for that, whether you had anything to do with it or not. And when you look at this, like, that's what's happening. Because of all of these people that have abused the system, now the people who don't abuse the system are going to be punished. And that's terrible and that's tragic, but also fuck the ones that abuse it. You know what there are? There are a ton of food banks and churches and other organizations that are more than happy to help out. They will give you whatever you need. Like, yes, there are the ones that have, you know, limits on you can only come once a week or you can only get X amount of stuff. But there are enough in most of these communities that you can hit all of those and take care of all of your needs once a week with no issue. And the people who legitimately need it will use those resources, and the people who are fucking leeches on the system won't, because they know they're fucking leeches. This is separating the wheat from the chaff, and it's a good fucking thing.
Yes, you should, like, dude, there's a lot there. I mean, for one thing, anybody that is in favor of a SNAP type of program, in theory, should be against the program the way it is. Because, like you said, the people who actually need it, yeah, they're getting it now. But when you see the abuse that's going on and you see the entitlement culture that's been created, I mean, these people, they look like they're just like the worst people on the face of the earth. They are lazy, they are inept, and they don't give a shit who they take from as long as they get theirs. And they are driving everybody else to hate to resent these programs and just want to be, no, okay, that's it. We're done. We're done with it. Because you can go on fucking, you can go on the internet and order lobster tail from Whole Foods with your EBT card. And there are people that are, poor people can't have lobster. They can't have this. No, they can if they want to go pay for it. But SNAP was not designed so that you can have all of the luxurious items that other people who are working for a living and contributing to society have. It's a stopgap measure to get you through a difficult situation, get you back on your feet, get you the necessities you need to help you through that period of time. It's not so that you can just get everything that everybody else has all the time. It's infuriating to watch people defend that, because it breeds a ton of resentment. I'm at the point where I'm just like, you know what? MRE meals in the mail. You sign up for SNAP, you get an MRE meal, a thing once a fucking month in the mail. That will sustain you. You will not go hungry. It's good enough for the military when they're fucking out in the field. It's good enough for people, to survive. And that's designed for. You want fucking lobster? That's fine. Go out, get a fucking job, buy some lobster tails. You want to drink, 6 fucking Cokes and eat candy bars all day? That's fine too. Go use your own fucking money for it. You cannot just. There are people that need these that legitimately need help putting real food on their fucking table, and you're jeopardizing all of that. And then you make me look like an asshole because I'm just ready to cut off the whole fucking thing.
When Maha instituted the restrictions on EBT and SNAP, where they couldn't be used for junk food and stuff like that, and you saw it's the same group. You saw this whole group just lose their fucking shit. That should have told everybody, this is a bad program. This is a bad idea. This needs to stop. Like, as soon as they started crying about not being able to buy fucking Monster Energy drinks and all this other bullshit with their EBT, everybody should have looked at that and said, we need to revise this program. We need to abolish this program. We need to do something different, because this is not working. If this is what they're using it for, they're not using it for what it's intended for. It's like
it's being abused like every government program always is. It creates these perverse incentives. It's creating literal monsters running around.
Well, and then with that, you have people that are like, oh, but I know this one kid that has some sort of a digestive problem and they have to have Sprite. It's like, okay, a 2 liter of Sprite costs a fucking $1.50. Like,
yeah,
you don't have $1.50 to buy your kid the fucking Sprite. You have to put that on EBT. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, it's the amount of excuses that people make for I don't even want to say, I guess, poor people, because I've always said, poverty is a mindset. Being poor is a mindset. Being broke is temporary. Like, you can get out of being in a broke situation, but if you have if you have like a poverty mindset and you have poverty like behaviors, then you're going to be stuck in that. And the amount of excuses that are made for people, like they have no agency. There's no accountability. Oh, well, this and well, that, and they deserve this. They don't deserve, nobody deserves anything. You deserve what you work for and earn. Like, the idea that they can go to Whole Foods and buy lobster tails with an EBT card, or that edible panty thing that you put up on, is that real?
That's a joke.
Okay. But you honestly can't tell at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some fucking lobbyist for edible panties and like sex toys and shit lobbying some pervert in fucking Congress. We know there's tons of them. It's like, yo, make sure this stuff's EBT eligible. And then they're like, oh, well, like, you shouldn't be mad at them. You should be mad at all these corporations, the Walmarts that Walmart and McDonald's employ the most amount of people on food stamps. It's like, dude, the amount of people that work, I've been trying to dig into this because there's so much bullshit going around about how much these people work, all these full-time workers. No. It's like 14% of SNAP recipients work at all. And 70% of the 14% work full-time, apparently, was the closest I could get to like a legitimate number. But they're not working full-time. The minimum work requirement that I saw was 80 hours a month of working. So yeah, if you're just going to work to meet the minimum requirements, then yeah, you're going to get a part-time job at fucking Walmart or a part-time job at McDonald's. And then you're going to qualify for all of these food. That has nothing to do with whatever salaries they're paying. That's you like finding a loophole in the system. And by the way, just like the argument that all of these companies, like the biggest companies, employ the most people that are on SNAP or whatever. Like, how is that an argument against getting rid of SNAP? Because you're just it's corporate subsidies, right?
I got
corporate welfare.
I can back you up with some numbers. I said I got you. I can back you up with some numbers on this. That's my job.
All right.
I'm the fact
Let's
check
go.
guy. All right.
Yes.
Walmart. All right. Now remember, there's 40 million people on SNAP. Walmart employs a little over 2 million people in the U.S. A whopping, this is staggering, 14,500 SNAP recipients work for Walmart. Out of the 40 plus million, it's 14,000. 14,000. That's it. And when Walmart is the largest employer of people receiving SNAP benefits, yes, that part is true. McDonald's comes in second. McDonald's employs, where'd the fucking number
Does it
go?
break it down? Does it tell you whether or not they're full-time employees or part-time employees?
See that it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, Amazon employs 4,000 workers, warehouse workers who are on government assistance. But it's like, do you know how these Amazon warehouses work? Like, they're mostly part-time. Like, there is no such thing as a full-time job at those things.
No, I used to date a girl whose like cousin was at one of the fulfillment centers. Yeah, it didn't sound like a very fun job. All of this is going away, by the way. We will have robots doing this stuff in a couple of years. So at least we'll eliminate that as a topic of conversation. But like, okay, so they employ people that are taking advantage of these benefits. Like, that's not like, okay, yeah, call it corporate welfare if you want to, but like that's not an argument for keeping the SNAP program, because now the SNAP program, okay, so you're giving benefits to people who don't need it, who are abusing the system and buying fucking bullshit with it, and you're giving welfare to the fucking Waltons and all these billionaires.
Here we go.
And somewhere in between, people who actually need stuff are getting it.
So Walmart is by far the largest with 14,500. McDonald's comes in at second with 8,780, and then Amazon comes in at third with a little over 4,000. So like, oh my gosh, out of 42 million, there's a total of like 30,000 right there that actually are working.
That is crazy. Yeah. So where are all these other people working? Apparently, right? And they're not. It was, dude, I saw one statistic on Grok. It was like 6% of households on SNAP had a full-time, the head of household was working full-time. 6%. Like, dude, I'm sorry, man. Like, there's no fucking way. And I mean, disability is a whole other animal. There's just no fucking way that 42 million people in the US need food assistance. It's impossible. That's 12% of the population. That's 1 out of like what, 8 people? 1 out of every 8 people you cross on the fucking street can't feed themselves. They will die starting tomorrow, unless they get an electronic card where they can just spend this money. Dude, they really need to. It just needs to be like a box of government food that's dropped off at your door once a week. I mean, if you do. You know, because if this is what it's about getting people sustenance, then that's what it should be. And there should be some fucking shame attached to it, because you are taking things from other people. Like, you are on the dole. And it shouldn't be comfortable. You should not get all of the luxuries of life being on the dole. You should want to get off of the dole. They want to make it like you're sitting in this nice, comfortable fucking recliner and you don't want for anything, and you have everything else that all these people that are working have. No, it should suck being on government assistance so that you're motivated to get off of it. That would be the humane thing to do. It's infuriating, and the level of
it is not the government or the American people's responsibility to provide for you in every want and need that you may have in life. And talking about like the SNAP numbers, it's over 10% of SNAP recipients are non-citizens, and I think they project like between 3 and 4% of that are like non-naturalized
like residents,
like
or something,
legal
like
immigrants who are non-naturalized, so they're non-citizens, but they're like here legally. But like, okay, so out of the 10%, over 10% of SNAP recipients are non-citizens, and like 3% is are like legal residents that are non-naturalized. That means the other 97% of that 4.5 million who are receiving SNAP benefits and all this other stuff are straight up illegal fucking immigrants or refugees. They're like, what the fuck? Why are we? And
yeah, they're out of control. Of course, it's an out of control government program, and the fact that people want to rein this in doesn't mean they just hate poor people and they want them to starve to death. Have you seen this chart that I just pulled up? Yeah. So this is a chart of the federal food stamp spending in billions of dollars for the last 15 years, right? And it was, it peaked in 2013 at 80 billion. And then it went down a little bit to about 60 billion in 2019, back up to above 80 billion during COVID, which, okay, that kind of makes sense because they wouldn't allow people to fucking work. once Joe Biden takes office, it almost doubles, goes to 150 billion from 2020, mid 2020 to 2022. And now it's at 120 billion or so. Like that's a crazy increase in spending on this program. A crazy increase. It's completely out of control. And people are like, well, you know, it's compared to everything else the government does, it's really not that much money. Yeah. Another problem that is being highlighted by this issue is that apparently $180 billion a year for people to go buy junk food is not a lot of money anymore.
Gosh, I wonder what might have helped contribute to, you know, the numbers spiking the way it did. I mean, when you consider, you know, what went on over the last 4 years, this in particular.
Sorry, I just removed it. I literally clicked as soon as you did that randomly.
This is the annual U.S. refugee admissions ceiling. So when Trump was in office previously, he had dropped the admission ceiling significantly every year. And his final year in office, it was at 15,000 was all the U.S. refugees that they were admitting. And then as soon as Biden came in the office, cranked it back up to 62,500 per year. And like when you look at the numbers that are being posted on Snap and the number of people that are on Snap that are non-citizens, I mean, obviously they're coming here so that they can get on these government programs and not have to work and not have to do anything. Did you see the video of the Iraqi dude saying that if he's not going to be getting his government benefits, he can't afford to stay here? It's like, okay, good. Get the fuck out. If the only reason you're here is because you're on government benefits, you shouldn't fucking be here.
Right. I mean, the amount of money that they're giving to these people compared to what that would equate to in their country, in Somalia and Afghanistan, Iraq, even in fucking Mexico. Not the part of Mexico I'm in is pretty expensive, but like in some bumfuck town in Mexico, like it would go a long fucking way. It's like 5 times the median salary in some of these countries. They're just getting it for fucking doing nothing. They're completely out of control. It's just, oh man, there's really no justification for it. And just because you're against the way like the government doing a program like this does not mean you hate poor people and you want them to starve. Dude, by the way, not one fucking person will starve in the United States because of this expiration of these benefits or whatever tomorrow. Not one. Zero people will even fucking miss a meal. I can almost guarantee you that. Like all this fear, it's all bullshit. These are the people that are like, I put a tweet like this. These are the people that told you like 100 million people were going to die of COVID. Florida was going to be underwater in the 90s. The ozone layer we're all going to burn alive because the hole in the ozone layer. This is all bullshit, dude. Nobody's going to like miss their health, like going to be denied health care. It's all fear mongering bullshit. And people are buying it hook, line, and sinker. None of these programs should fucking exist. These should all be done voluntarily. And I do think that people who have the means to donate to people, to, you know, give to charities, I think they do have a moral obligation to do so. But I'm not going to force anybody to do it. And to the extent that the government's going to do it, then they need to be more judicious with other people's fucking money. Which they never are, which is one of the problems. It's like, oh, well, like, you don't think poor people should get a choice? Like, they just have to eat gruel every day? Well, yeah. If the government is going to force people into these programs, they're going to take money from you at gunpoint and distribute it to other people, then they need to be better stewards of your money. They can't just let you use that money to buy all kinds of stuff. Because one of the reasons these people are poor is they are very bad with money. They make very bad decisions. They have no discipline. They don't know how to manage an account or anything like that. And so they're buying stupid shit that they don't need all the time. It's a big part of the reason. You know what I started watching that one podcast, like Financial Audit. Have you ever seen that?
Mm-mm.
Dude, if you want to feel good about your economic situation, put an episode of that on. These people they're racking up tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt on just like stupid shit, or just not even like, it's not even that stupid. It's just like, going to McDonald's all the time, or like going to a convenience store and buying a fucking Monster energy drink every single goddamn day instead of buying them in bulk. Like
spending $10 on a Starbucks latte every day instead.
That DoorDash, like, yeah, all kinds of stuff. And it's like, and they all have fucking excuses. It's like, oh, well, I worked all day and I thought I deserved this, I deserve that. And dude, if you're fucking broke, you have to sacrifice. And if the government's going to have a program, it cannot enable people to do whatever the fuck they want with a bunch of money every month. It needs to be, you need to instill discipline, like you have to force discipline down their fucking throats, or they're never going to get out of this program, which is, again, probably by design by the government, which is why private charities are a much better way to go, because they're incentivized to actually get you back on your feet, not create a lifestyle around it, not make it this comfortable way of living. That we played that one video. The lady's been on this shit for 12 years. 12 years. According to her, she's gotten over $900,000 in just food and cash benefits, not including the disability that her and her three fucking kids were on, and not including the subsidized Section 8 housing.
We were talking about this.
Like, we fell on hard times. Oh, people fall on hard times. Yeah, people do fall on hard times. Not for 12 fucking years, they don't.
We were talking about this at work, and one of the guys that I work with said, he's got a cousin that's, one of these type of people that she pops a kid out every 6 years, because 6 years is where the benefits expire. So she gets knocked up and pops out a new kid every 6 years so that she can keep the benefits going. Like, what the, like, had a kid at 16 and then just like has stayed on the program for forever. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah. And there's like tutorials on how to do this to get free housing, free phone, free clothes, free food, free everything. Like, never have to work a day in your life.
Yeah. And it's just, we are like, yes, one big problem is that, okay, yeah, this is only $150 billion a year. That's a shitload of fucking money, by the way. But compared to what the rest of we just gave Argentina $40 billion. Yeah, they shouldn't have done that either. Like, we don't have, this is like, if you watch that financial audit show, you'll watch these people that are $200,000 in debt, and they're like, they're donating to like a Patreon, like $7. It's like, what are you doing? You don't have the money to do. He's like, yeah, it was only $7 a month or something. Okay, right, but you're $200,000 in debt and you're making $3,000 a month. Like, you don't have the money to do this. We don't have the money to do this. We're already like, dude, the interest on the debt is now the biggest. Like, we've been warning about this since we started the podcast. I've been warning about this for almost 20 years now. The interest on the debt is now the number one expenditure of the government. And we fucking predicted this. It was not hard. It was not a hard prediction. I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just saying, it's like, yeah, people would fucking shrug you off 10, 15 years ago. Now here we are. We're there. Interest on the debt, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. That's the entire fucking budget. Anything else, we can't afford anything after that. That's it. So nothing else the government does would be affordable. If we let's say hypothetically, in some fucking fantasy world, they actually balanced the budget and they took in like the $4.5–5 trillion worth of taxes. It's all gone after those things. The interest, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, done. That's it. There's your $4 trillion. Like, we can't afford to do it. Like, everything else is deficit spending. Like, so fucked. And the idea that you can't put any restrictions on handouts is just, it's so ridiculous. I don't know where that mentality seeped into our culture, because when I was like, where I grew up in my fucking house, like when I was a kid, like that didn't exist. Like you put your hand out, it came with stipulations. I was arguing with like some stupid broad on fucking Twitter. I don't even know. She said something about like, oh, disabled people don't need to justify like their prove their disability to you just to placate you or something. I was like, they do if they're trying to qualify for disability. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, if you're like, yeah, no, they don't have to do it to some random guy in the street, prove they're disabled. But if you're trying to get like a handicap parking spot or something, you have to show some sort of handicap.
Right.
Like, what? And then to act all indignant when the person that you're asking for something is like, okay, just prove that you have what you say you have. Like, you don't get to dictate the terms. You're coming to me.
Okay. You and I have talked privately. My grandmother was pretty well off, and she would let me borrow money from time to time if I had like needed something and didn't have the cash. There were always stipulations. Like, this is my fucking grandma. I paid her back 100% of the money that I ever took from her, and on time too. Like, which
dude, I love your grandma. I never even met her. Like, I fucking love this lady. Yeah, like, of course. You come to me, you ask for money. Here are my terms. You don't like them? Fuck off. Find somebody else to give you money. Good luck. How is that even like? How is that debatable? How is that controversial? How is this even a topic of discussion? That should be a goddamn given. Like the sky is blue. It is just so ridiculous. And the number of people defending the status quo is sickening. Absolutely sickening. For a number, it's offensive on so many levels, but like you pointed out at the top of the show, it's offensive because there are people that actually need these things, and now they're in jeopardy of not getting them. And it's all because of this abuse and the people that fucking justify it, that demand nothing from people. They have like the lowest bar, and they think not demanding any sort of like excellency from people, not even excellency, dude, just just bare minimum competency. They think that like having some sort of standards makes you an evil person. And it's literally the exact opposite. Having no standards, having no accountability, letting people who clearly cannot run their own lives just do whatever the fuck they want with no accountability and no limit. That is cruel. You are not setting them up for success. You're setting them up for a lifetime of dependency.
Well, Johnny, standards and accountability are not popular things societally. This is a good spot to segue away from Snap into something else that I've stumbled upon and found absolutely fucking hilarious. There's an article out about the soul-crushing reaction to Harvard's grade inflation report. Here's just a handful of quotes.
Wait, what is grade inflation? I don't understand.
Okay.
Are they using the term inflation correctly? Because the way I'm saying, like, that would make it easier to get grades.
No,
get good grades.
The grade inflation, I guess, yes, they are sort of. So grade inflation, it's easier to get a good grade, and so now because it had become easier to get a good grade, the professors are putting more pressure on having to do extra stuff to get that good grade. So, because of the watering down of the system, it pushed.
This
grades.
Is like an 85 is an A, right, or something like that.
Yeah, some bullshit like that. So because of the watering down of the system, it pushed, the people getting the higher grades up. So some higher institutions like Harvard and others are now putting much higher expectations on the students in order to achieve those grades. And so now the students are all like crying and bitchy because, oh my God, I go to Harvard and I have to actually fucking work to make good grades. The whole entire day I was crying. I skipped classes on Monday and I was just sobbing in bed because I felt like I try so hard in my classes and my grades aren't even the best. It just felt so crushing. As well, skipping class probably isn't going to help with those grades. Well, like, and this is like the try hard culture. Like, as long as you try hard, you should get all of the best. It's like, no, that's not how that works.
And by the way, they're not even trying hard, man.
Guarantee it. What makes a Harvard student is their engagement in extracurriculars. Now we have to throw that all away to pursue just academics.
That's not what makes a Harvard student. What are they talking about?
The very notion of what Harvard is.
Extracurriculars? No, you're supposed to be smarter than everybody else.
Right.
And work harder at school shit.
Yes, that's the reason you're at fucking Harvard. I can't reach my maximum level of enjoyment just learning the material because I'm so anxious about the midterm, so anxious about the papers, and because I know it's so harshly graded. If that standard is raised even more, it's unrealistic to assume that people will enjoy their classes. Bitch, you ain't supposed to enjoy your fucking classes. You're supposed to go and learn.
Dude,
if you happen to enjoy it, that's a good.
We are so toast as a society, dude.
If you happen to enjoy your classes, that's a benefit, but you're not supposed to enjoy your classes. You're supposed to go to class to fucking learn what you need to know.
Yeah, like the fact that, dude, and this is, I think this mentality started with millennials, but I think it seems to be getting worse. They need to enjoy everything. Nobody should ever have to suffer through something or sacrifice. Everything should be great, and you deserve like great experiences. And no, this should be, dude, Harvard should be grueling. I feel like I could just walk into that fucking place right now and get a degree.
There you go.
And like whatever. As long as there's not too much crazy math involved, I think I could probably do it.
This is one of the kids talking about like the libraries on campus. If you go to Lamont or Cabot at 12 a.m., that place is packed every single night. People care about their work. People sacrifice sleep. People sacrifice friend activities. People sacrifice so much for their grades already. Yeah, no shit. You could go to like a little podunk school like Murray State, and guess what? If you go to the library at fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be packed, and there are going to be people there working on shit. That's
And by the way, they're cramming because they jerked off for the fucking 3 weeks before the test or whatever, when the paper was due. I did the same fucking thing. And yeah, I was at the fucking library all goddamn night, hopped up on fucking Adderall, writing a 25-page paper.
And, you know, if you want to fuck off and enjoy all the extracurriculars of college and stuff, do what I did. Go to a podunk school, join a fraternity, and aim for, like, D is for diploma. As long as I graduated and got that degree, that's all that fucking mattered. In fact, I went to a job interview when I was a senior, and the interviewer, he was like, so you got a 2.5 GPA. He said, why is that? I was like, if it's a class that I like, then I do good. And if it's a class that I just need to graduate, then I do what I need to make a D. Like, if you keep me engaged, I will be the best employee you have. If you bore me, I will do just enough to not get fired. He was like, that is totally fair. And then he hired me.
Yeah. Dude, I'm surprised he even had that, like your transcripts or whatever.
Well, I put all that shit on my resume. I was straight up with people. I had it all.
You bragged about the 2.5 GPA.
I'm right. You gotta
I think I put mine on there, but it was like,
look, 2.5 was the minimum required to maintain an athletic scholarship. Like, I did exactly what I had to fucking do.
Oh, dude, the standards are so fucking low. They're so goddamn low. And these people can't, and they've been lowering them ever since. And these people are still complaining that they don't want any standards and nothing.
See, when I tell this story, I can't be mad at my son for the way he like gamed the system to graduate early with like not actually passing any fucking class all through high school, because if I had seen an opportunity for that and was inclined to do so, I'd have done the exact same fucking thing. Like I graduated college with a 2.5 because a 2.5 is what was required to maintain my athletic scholarship. If it was a class,
the old block.
If it applied to my major and what I was intending to do for a career, then I did good in the class. Otherwise, I literally just did enough to make a D and scrape by. Like, yeah, I get it. I can't. But like, you go to
I'm
Harvard.
still gonna make fun of him, and I still think he should have to ride to school on the short bus.
But like, these kids go to Harvard. You signed up for more than that. Like, you clearly were not in it to do the bare minimum to get by. You went to fucking Harvard. You're supposed to be the cream of the crop. Like,
Right. And dude, like, call me crazy, but like I played a lot of sports all the way through high school. Like, the best athletes wanted to be fucking challenged all the time. Like, you didn't want to play some shitty team and beat them by like 30 fucking runs. You wanted to play the best fucking team and see, you know, to be the best, you got to beat the best. Like, if you're going to fucking Harvard, wouldn't you want to be challenged? Wouldn't you want them to fucking push you to be the best fucking student, like to learn the most and become the best at what you're doing so that when you get into the real world, you can kick some fucking ass? No. We just want to get the degree, and then we want to be handed a fucking job, and we don't want to have to work. We want to be handed everything with no accountability. We just want everybody we all deserve everything. We exist, therefore we deserve. And that mentality is destroying the country, destroying it, like just from the inside out. And it's just watching the whole fucking thing implode in real time is really something. And there's just no way the U.S. can exist like this. They're creating generations of just inept, dependent pussies. And you can see it in like even the politicians are like pretending. Oh, I don't know if they're pretending to be pussies, but like they're either pussies or they're pretending to be pussies because that's what sells in politics now. Like crying all the time, coming up with these sob stories, and being all these like effeminate, fucking scared. Remember all the COVID stuff? All these pussies, dude. Just everybody's being like, when did we start wanting? We went from like George Washington, not a pussy by any stretch of the imagination, to like a Zoran Mondani, like crying about how his fucking grandma couldn't go on the train after 9/11 because she was afraid or something. Why are we looking like? I don't know, dude. It's all fucked. It's all fucked. There's no accountability. There's no discipline. There's no standards. The government has just destroyed people's like standard. Anytime there's like society puts in a standard, like government just chops away at it. Oh, well, they shouldn't have to do that. They shouldn't have to. So let's lower the standards. And 85 is now an A. Participation trophies up the at. Like this is how you destroy a country. That and just spending like drunken sailors on all kinds of shit. God damn. And yeah, the food stamp budget is like a drop in the bucket. That's another problem. It should like $150-60 billion should not be a drop in a bucket. Like that should be a very substantial portion of the government budget. It should not just be a rounding error, but that's a rounding error now. Like I said, this SNAP issue is exposing so many problems. Fraud, abuse within government programs, just how ridiculous government spending is in general. The number of people that are okay with fraud and abuse in government programs.
The fraud and the abuse is like the biggest problem. It's like Social Security. Remember when, Doge came in and started finding all, like, how many people were showing as like 160 years old that were drawing Social Security? Then the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people that were like long since dead that were still drawing Social Security. Like the fraud and abuse is the problem. Yeah. And anytime you talk about cleaning up the fraud and the abuse, then they get mad and they're like, "Oh, you hate poor people." It's like, what? Nobody said they hate poor people. We said clean up the fucking fraud and abuse. Well, I know we can't do that because then you would punish the poor people. It's like, okay, well, I'm sorry then, but we've reached the point where we have to say fuck the poor people until we can get the rest of it under control. Like if you don't want to control the obviously blatantly abusive parts of it, then you don't get to have any of it. Like that should just be the standard. It's like, okay, then we're just going to do away with it all.
And dude, it's like, it's so out of control now. It's like, no. Let's turn the spigots off. let's see, starting tomorrow, how many people are starving in the streets, legitimately starving in the streets.
Well, and right now,
And
Republicans are trying to turn into straight up fucking pussies and not test this out and see how it works. They're trying to overturn the filibuster so that they can just push through what they want. Like, no, don't fucking do that. Number one, overturning the filibuster is a bad fucking idea. This is the thing that prevents the, 50% plus one. Like, I get it. Democrats aren't going to come to the table. Okay, fuck it. Leave it closed. Like, nobody cares. The only people who cares are the ones who are on fucking EBT of TikTok. Like, leave it closed. Let's see how this experiment plays out. Let it run for a week. Let it run for 2 weeks. Because you know where a lot of the people that are going to be mad about this are? They're in fucking big cities where they're going to start looting and rioting and all this bullshit. And then the Democrats are going to be the ones who are coming under fire because they're letting this shit go. Because they're the ones who aren't voting to actually fund anything.
Yeah.
Like, grow a fucking spine and see this thing through. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Like,
yeah, you can't, dude, at this point, you can't capitulate. We have to do something to get this under control. And yes, like we said, this is a very small portion of government spending issues, but it is an issue. And it's a larger issue for society as a whole. Like, I just don't like the messaging around this and how, like, there's no pressure on people to feed their own kids and stuff like that. Is just, oh, it's okay if you don't feed your kids and you just have them, like, have somebody else feed your kids and house your kids. And that's not okay. I don't like that fucking, that is a horrible message to send to people. And yeah, we have to figure out, like, how much of this fucking Leviathan is absolutely necessary. And that's why, one of the reasons why the Republicans are ready to capitulate. They don't want you to figure out how much we actually need, because it's nowhere near $7 trillion a year. I guarantee you that. That I can guarantee you. And there's just, oh my God, dude. Have you seen that one tweet that's just been, every time somebody like a leftist posts like something stupid on Twitter, they hit them with this millennial woe. It's amazing how much leftist discourse is just them pretending not to understand things, thus making discourse impossible. It's like every time they come out with these like false equivalency. They don't know how to come up with an analogy. It's just, are people really this stupid? If they are, like, if people, I did say this on Twitter, like, if people this stupid are capable of feeding themselves, then nobody has a fear of all these people starving to death. Like, if you can be basically retarded, and looking at some of these tweets, like, one person tried to give some context to that lobster tail. It's $10 for 4 lobster tails. It's $2.37 an ounce. So it's about 4 ounces worth of lobster tail for $10. And they said, here, for some context, here's a thing of ground beef that costs $14. That's also EBT eligible. Yeah, it's a 3-pound fucking thing of ground beef.
Yeah. It's a little more than 4 ounces.
A little bit. 16 ounces in a pound?
Yeah.
Like, this is the level of retardation that we're dealing with. And somehow this chick feeds herself, I think. So, like, if she can manage to feed herself and she doesn't know that ounces and pounds are completely different, I don't think anybody is in jeopardy of starving. I think even the dumbest people among us can figure out how to get a couple meals a day. And, oh my God, just get off this government assistance. It's infuriating, man. How many people, like, the disability thing, like, what qualifies as disabilities now? There's so many. How many people, look up how many people are on disability. Oh, do I even want to know? How many millions of people are claiming to be disabled?
Approximately 7.3 million people receive disabled worker benefits from Social Security. Additionally, another 8.2 million receive other SSDI benefits.
Okay, so like 15, 16 million people are
Somewhere in that-
disabled.
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Now the ones collecting Social Security, they have to be over 65 to get that, right?
Yeah,
no?
I can't remember exactly how that works, but
I mean, there's a much better chance that somebody over 65 has some sort of disability. But the number of people 18 to 54 claiming to be disabled, way too goddamn high. And again, it's because you coddle these people and, they have like, they get stressed out or something. And so that's a disability. Well, we can't demand anything because they have stress. They get anxiety. Dude.
Oh man, almost 50%. I'm just going through the numbers. Almost 50% of people on disability are obese. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Again, I bet that would wipe out, like, if the obese ones would get in shape. I bet that would wipe out most of their problems.
Yeah, and they're probably on SNAP too.
And the ones who aren't obese are probably close to it.
So, right. And then, couple that with whatever the stat is, like 70 or 80% of medical bills are all from preventable fucking diseases like obesity, double fisting fucking cheeseburgers and big gulps and not doing any exercise. Just sitting on your fat fucking ass, collecting a check from the goddamn government. Dude, we have to demand some sort of, like, this used to be, what was like we're an exceptional country or whatever, American exceptionalism. We are so fucking pathetic as a country now. It should be a laughing stock. Like, we're just fucking fat and stupid and lazy and inept. And there's people that are just like, oh, well, the fat, stupid, lazy people should get everything that they need and that they want. Why? You're saying fat, stupid, lazy people don't deserve to eat? Like, you're going to take away their access. I love these words that they use too. Somebody else, you're saying, oh, it's not the government's responsibility to feed you, clothe you, house you. And some fucking chick was like, no, it literally says, like, the government offers us life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Offers you? No. You don't get to just sneak in these fucking words. Access to health. They're taking away your access to food, access to healthcare. The government's supposed to offer you life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. No. They're not supposed to offer you anything. It doesn't say that anywhere. And nobody's taking your access away to fucking cheeseburgers or lobster tails. You have access to it the same way I have access to it. You can go out and buy it with your money. The government's just not going to give it to you.
And the exact words are that we will protect life, liberty, and the pursuit of
yes, not offer it to you. Or I think she said offer. It was
not
something
insured.
like that.
It's not insured to you. It is not guaranteed to you. It will not be given to you. We will protect it, and it's up to you to get it yourself.
There is literally nothing they keep referencing the founding documents and like how this is good for society, for the government to take care of its people. No. There's nothing in those documents that say the government's supposed to give people anything. It exists according to them as like a necessary evil to secure your rights. Secure them. It's up to you to provide the things that you want for yourself.
And this whole protecting democracy bullshit, the word democracy does not appear anywhere in the U.S. Constitution, anywhere in the amendments or any of the articles. Nowhere. It's not. Democracy is not in the Constitution. So
no, they had disdain. They had open disdain for democracy, and you can read their letters to each other. They did not. They were trying to avoid democracy. It's like that's why they put in all of these safeguards that as soon as the government got control of things, they immediately got rid of. And it's just, I just don't, people like, it's like, you need to go back to like 8th grade, like government class. Like, did you have to, it was 8th grade where you had to take the Constitution test?
I think that's right.
Yeah, like you weren't allowed to pass 8th grade unless you like understood the Constitution.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 7th grade you did like an introduction to like world history, and then in 8th grade you did like more of a.
Yeah, I remember it being a big deal. It's like, dude, you're not going to be able to go to high school unless you understand what these documents mean. And apparently, well over more than half the people in the country have no idea what these documents mean.
Well, when you check the U.S.'s literacy rates, that kind of checks out. Makes sense.
Yeah, and I'd be like, oh, you should go back to school, but the schools are fucking terrible or unusable. You shouldn't have to go back. Like, none of these things are that confusing. It's pretty, like, the government, they enumerated the powers. Like, it literally says, like, the powers of the government are few and defined. And here they are, enumerated. 1, 2, 3. And apparently few and defined means like millions and undefined, limitless. They can do whatever they want, apparently. That's the way we're going to interpret it. There's no limitations on government. I mean, there can't be if we've gotten to this point. There's no justification for, I mean, Justin, correct me if I'm wrong. There were hungry people. There were poor, hungry people back when the founding fathers were creating these documents, right? So they could have put in a SNAP benefit for people that needed food. There was education back then. They could have written that in there too. Everybody's entitled to an education, a government provided education. They didn't.
I would be willing to bet if there were hungry, starving people back then that short of like family members coming to help, there weren't like community food banks and shit because everybody was starving. And everybody was like, all right, if you're not going to take care of yourself, then sorry, you get to die. Like, yeah.
A lot of them did when they first came over. I mean, Thanksgiving's coming up. They tried the whole, communal socialist thing with the food, and they almost all starved to death. It wasn't until they're just like, okay, now everybody, you eat what you fucking kill, essentially. Here's your own plot of land. Grow your own food. Eat your own food. That seemed to work out. Dude, we are so far gone as a guy. It is just amazing what this one little issue of, dude, they're like, oh, well, it's only like $34 a taxpayer a year or something, which is bullshit. That number is not even close. It's got to be at least a couple $100 a person, a taxpayer for 180 billion or whatever. But it's like, oh, they're only getting like a couple $100 a month. It's not that much money. Okay, well then they're not going to starve to death. If it's not that much money, if it's a negligible thing, and do they really need it? Clearly, if they're buying lobster tail with it, they don't. Like, dude, and if they're buying, like I said, if they're buying just a bunch of processed junk food, that's not good for them either. And that's, again, like, it's one of the reasons why they're still poor. They don't know how to use money correctly.
Didn't we go through the chart on like what on average SNAP is spent on? And like, it's all processed junk shit for the most part. Like when you look at that list and that chart of how, like, on average, how much is spent out of SNAP for all of these different things, there's this huge list of like just straight up processed junk bullshit. And that's the bulk of it. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah. And then, they're poisoning themselves, and then they get sick, and then they're on Medicaid. It just keeps going around and around. It's just a spiral of fucking government handouts. And people think they're doing them a favor. You're not doing them a favor. You're ruining their lives, quite literally. So all this stuff needs to be done voluntarily. We gotta get, like, just it's off starting tomorrow. Leave it off. Leave it off. Let the market take care of this. The market takes care of all kinds of things that are very important. And if the government would just get out of the goddamn way, the utopia we could be living in. But so was it a senator that's putting forth the bill to get rid of all the
Randy Fine of Florida is putting forward a bill to remove any non-citizens from all forms of welfare. No SNAP, no EBT, no Section 8 housing, no cash benefits, nothing. Like remove all non-citizens. So
the fact that we even have to do that is ridiculous. Like I'm in Mexico. Like the idea of me like going to like some sort of on some government program here.
Well, and like the Democrats always like, oh no, illegals and non-citizens aren't on this stuff. They can't be. It's like, except that when you start digging into it, there's a fucking metric ton of them that are.
Yeah.
But
their kids were born. Like that's like they come here, they're illegal. Okay. Then they have a baby, a little anchor baby. That's a citizen. So now they qualify for all this shit because of the kid. That's in there. It's clear as day. It's in the fucking print. And that's why they're like, oh, all these children are on fucking SNAP. Yeah. They came here and they had a fucking baby. And so now the whole household gets all the shit. And if illegals aren't on all this stuff, then they'll have no problem passing that bill, right? I'm sure they'll all vote for it because it's a non-issue. Right? In theory, everybody should vote for that unless you're in favor of illegal non-US citizens getting all these benefits. If you're in favor of it, you'll vote no. If you're not in favor of it, you'll vote yes. Even if you think it's not happening, okay, well it's not it's not happening and now it never will. Watch how many people won't vote for that. And that will tell you everything you need to know. It's a nice start. Oh, God, I wish we could get rid of pretty soon. Like these things are just they're going to have to go away. It's just collapsing under its own weight. We're bankrupt financially and morally as a country. And oh God, I hope they let it go. Just let it go. I want to see what happens. I guarantee you not one person will starve because of this.
And I mean, either way, we'll have something to talk about Tuesday. Either they'll bust the filibuster and steamroll this through, or we'll get the first few days of riots, looting, and seeing what happens when the EBT gets cut off. Because they're not going to fucking wait. Like, if they go to the store tomorrow morning and swipe that card and it says declined, that's when it's going to start.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they'll be waiting in line for the stores to open so they can find out whether or not they're going to have a riot.
Any excuse, right? You'd think that they'd be able to dip into their like the shoes and their Foot Locker looting from the last round of riots. Dip into their reserves a little bit to get them over the hump. But apparently that wasn't enough to feed them. AOC said that they were all looting the Foot Locker and Nike store because they were just hungry.
Yeah. Well, pawn some of those shoes and go buy your groceries.
Oh my God, dude. What are we doing? What are we fucking doing? Country needs it's time, dude. National divorce. Anybody that's in favor of whatever the hell's going on right now, you go over this side. The rest of us will go over there. And good luck.
Yeah,
good luck. Oh my God, what a fucking unmitigated disaster. Yeah, dude. Dude. Nobody could benefit more from a good from missing a meal or two than these people on food stamps. Like, wouldn't you be embarrassed to be morbidly obese and complaining that you're going to miss a meal?
You should, but there is absolutely no fucking shame in this country at all.
Yeah,
that's the big problem. People don't feel ashamed of the things that they obviously should.
Yeah, we need to start. We need to I mean, I do my best to shame fat people in particular, but like we have a whole segment on the show, but it's just, yeah, I don't know why we're not shaming more people as a society. I think it was because of all that stupid cancel culture shit. People were like afraid to do it. That should be over now. Bring back public shame. And just tell these people to fuck off, man. They really need to fuck off. There's no excuse for the status quo. There's just none. Yes, there are hungry people. Yes, people do need assistance, but it should not be coming from the government, and it certainly should not be coming like this. Like I said, at a minimum, it should be, okay, here's your like government cheese and shit delivered to your door. Like, you don't just get cash on a card to go fucking buy whatever you want. No, it's like a box of goodies. You're on the government fucking diet. Here you go, once a week. Or better yet, MRE meals. And like the ones that are about to expire from the fucking military, start sending those out every week. Because they'll get eaten immediately, right? Right before expiration.
I don't think those things expire.
No? All right, good. Even better. So then you only have to send it out like once every couple of months. Even better. MRE meal.
I gotta go. My wife says she's home and she wants to see me before I have to go to work.
I'll never understand her. She's crazy. All right.
She likes me for some reason.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Is she on mental disability yet, or
probably should be? Probably should be for as much as she seems to like me. But
all right. Yeah, we'll get out of here on that. Did we cover everything? Hopefully, for the most part.
Yeah, the only other two things I had weren't really very important. We can cover those Tuesday if
God, yeah.
If the weekend turns into a nothing burger, then we can cover those.
I got, yeah, that's enough snap talk. I'm going insane. I have to just unplug, I think, for a couple of days. I can't take it anymore.
Get on your jet ski before it starts to get cold.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will be back on Tuesday with a brand new episode. And until then, you know what to do. Just keep on peddling that so-called fiction. Peace.